Mr. John Brockwell will come and introduce his crew. And they can tell us about their wonderful displays that they have here with us.
Hello, everyone. Hello. Today we have not just a great program, it's be super epic. Is that right, Steve?
Yes. Yes.
So today we're going to have the Mid-Virginia Radio Control Club. And y'all might have a guess at what that involves. So right now I'm going to introduce their president, and then she's going to introduce the flight crew. Today I'm going to introduce Dawn Peterson. She is the current president of the Mid-Virginia Radio Control Club. Dawn was born in Buffalo, New York, and moved to Virginia as a child. She is a graduate of Virginia Intermont College with a major in English and a minor in equine science. And for those of you that are not sophisticated, that's the study of horses. I did Google it, so it is true. She lives in Chesterfield on a small farm with her farm hand, her cook, who is also her husband, Steve Overgaard, who most of y'all know. He's been here a few times. And their children. And most of their children have 4 legs and fur. Some have 2 legs and feathers. And one has no legs of any description. So basically we got horses, goats, chickens, dogs, and a snake. Dawn has worked as a horse trainer, a riding instructor for horses, and also has worked in a veterinarian office. She is a fishing enthusiast and an excellent marksman. She likes combining her skill as a marksman with her favorite love of sitting on her front porch and drinking Michelob Ultra. So, ladies and gentlemen, Dawn Peterson. Come on, Dawn.
First, then drink the Ultra.
Thank you, John, for that lovely introduction. Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
As John has already said, I am Dawn Peterson. I'm the current president of MVRCC, which is the Mid-Virginia Radio Control Club. I have not been flying RC planes for very long at all, less than a year in fact, which is why in a moment I will be introducing to you 2 of the club's well-seasoned pilots who know a lot more than I do. You're probably wondering, as the only woman in the club, how I even got into this. Well, as John just said, I do have a snake. So, about 12 years ago when I decided I wanted one, and I know snakes aren't for everybody, but they are really easy to care for, and they're a pretty clean pet. So after doing my research, I decided I wanted a Kenyan sand boa. And I've been to a store right off the Centralia Road. It's called Pet World. You guys may have been there. It's kind of near Iron Bridge Road, and it's right there. It's near the Wendy's and the Taco Bell and all that. So my friend used to go in there to get bird food. She has an African gray. So when it came time for me to buy my snake, naturally I went there. Patrick Mullins and his wife Deborah are the owners, and they're always so friendly and willing to educate, so that's right on where I went. And that was like 12 years ago. So you have a snake, you have to feed it, and we won't get into that in case some of y'all are squeamish. So anyway, as it turns out, Pet World is sort of a hybrid store. They have the fish and the birds and the snakes, and sometimes there's guinea pigs, but it's also a store that's filled with RC airplane stuff. I'm just like, okay, that's Patrick's hobby, and I never really thought anything else about it. I've, gone there dozens of times over the years. Well, fast forward to this past April, my dad, who was 81 at the time, totally out of the blue, says to me, I'm going to get back into radio-controlled aircraft, and I want to buy a little plane. And first of all, I was like, okay, wait, what? What do you mean you're getting back into RC flying? I never heard him talk about this. But apparently he used to fly several planes way back as a teenager before he even graduated high school. So I said, hey, I know where to go. Let's go to Pet World and see Patrick. And of course, Dad's face is riddled with confusion at this point, like I was speaking a different language. There's Pet World? Patrick? Dad really never had anything to do with the snakes, so his confusion was understandable. It took some convincing, but finally I got him to agree to go and that I knew what I was talking about. And he was, okay, I'll go. And I'm not expecting much from a place called Pet World. I just rolled my eyes. We ended up taking several trips to Pet World last spring and summer, and Dad, of course, hit it off with Patrick, and we even ended up flying some small planes in the big parking lot a few Sunday nights after the stores had closed and all the cars had cleared away. Those were fun times. One of our trips out to the store, we were introduced to Dave Beam, who is actually a past president of MVRCC. David invited us out to Wagner Road to fly, which is where it's just a field on Wagner Road, and which resulted in Dad and my husband Steve Overgaard and myself joining the club, and we became pretty active, and pretty much the rest is history. Who knew that my friend buying bird food from a pet store would result in my snake purchase? And a few years later evolved to becoming involved in this hobby and becoming the president of MVRCC. President that I am a very green RC pilot with very limited knowledge. I have two gentlemen here from the club, Robert Lee and Roger Hoover, and they can fly circles around me. These guys are the real deal. So I'd like to introduce them at this time. Robert Lee is a retired special agent, Defense Security Service, and Vietnam veteran. He served 15 years as a Georgia State Trooper prior to entering federal service. He has flown RC for about 15 years and